So really quick before I start in the recipe, I want to show you guys what kind of tofu I'm using. This is the Nasoya organic extra firm tofu. You can do this with firm. I really like sprouted, but my store didn't have that. So what I did is I just slit open the sides and drained the water off, and so I just have a standard block of tofu, and then I will show you guys how I cut it and press it and the rest of the things I do to the tofu to make it the firm, like meaty, I guess, type of texture. So this is the block, and I'm going to show you guys kind of how I cut it. I just cut it in half, straight down, and then I cut this part into thirds. Sorry, this is kind of hard when you're holding the camera. I'm like, where do I look? Do I look in the camera? Do I look at what I'm actually doing? I'm going to go ahead and look what I'm actually doing. So anyways, I cut it into about half, and then those halves into thirds, and then I am going to go ahead and take I didn't get that out already, two just dish towels, and then also I did not organize this video very well, sorry guys, 2 sheet pans. So I go ahead and line the sheet pans with the towels, and then I put all the tofu on top of it and set the other one on top, and then I squish it with my knife block. So that is how I press the tofu. You can leave it, sometimes I leave it for a couple of hours, depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I just have about 20 minutes, and so I do it for that. But I would say an hour is the best time frame to leave it to get all that moisture out. And then I'll show you the next step after you press your tofu. Okay, so I pressed out my tofu for about an hour, and now I just stacked up the blocks, and I am cutting it directly in half, and then just lining it on a parchment, or I have a Silpad lined baking sheet, and then I am going to bake it. I'm actually using my toaster oven in this. I usually use my oven, but I have a convection oven. I usually do it that, but you can do it either way, just on a standard oven. So I figured I'd show you on just a regular oven, not even a regular oven, but a toaster oven. So, sorry, my little 2-year-old is being a little crazy. Anyways, so I'm putting it on there. I'll put it in the oven for 350 for about 15 minutes. I'll show you what it looks like when you're done baking it in the oven and what you want it to kind of look like and feel like. Okay, so this is what you want your tofu to look like once it's been cooked in the oven. So it's springy, but it has almost like a skin on it. It sounds so gross. You can flip it around. Actually, I didn't realize it wasn't cooking on the other side. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do the other side for maybe about 10 minutes, and then it should be done and ready to, I'm going to use a barbecue sauce, and then a teriyaki style sauce, and then grill it. So I will show you. You can also, after you're done baking it, leave it like this. It's still an awesome texture, but I also wanted to show you guys how you can grill it, and it will come right off the grill. It won't stick. So go ahead and flip it over, and then I'm going to cook it on this side also. Okay, so here is my grill. I just have a Weber grill, and I am putting the tofu on. I just put it across the grates like that. I'm putting the teriyaki on just because that's the first one I grabbed, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. Just put it on and give it a good sear. It is about 100 degrees out here today, so it won't take long to grill. I'm going to put all this in a line and just grill it up. The more sugary your sauce is and less oily, the more it will caramelize, because obviously sugar crystallizes and burns, and that is delicious. So there are the teriyaki style ones, and then next I just got the barbecue, and I'll close the lid, let these grill for, I don't know the times. I did time the tofu of how I baked it, and it was 15 minutes each side, but I will say if you use a traditional oven, I am 100% sure it's less than that. So make sure just to watch it the first couple times you make it, and then you'll get the feel for how long it takes to bake the tofu into like a nice texture. I don't even know what this would be like comparable to for texture wise when you cook it, but yeah, so I'm going to grill it on up. I'm back out here a couple minutes later and ready to flip. So I just pull it up and flip it. There's not really like any major sticking. Oh, that one stuck. Of course, you say that and it doesn't. Ooh, that is hot. This grill is smoking hot, so Makes it a little harder to do. But, I mean, for the most part, there's no sticking, so that's nice. Oh my goodness, my dogs are out of control. The back of my grill is always so much hotter than the front, so. Anyways, all right, I'm gonna let you guys go so I can deal with my dogs. Okay, so we are all done. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it off the grill. I will say that the teriyaki sauce ones did cook really fast. They're the ones that stuck a little. The barbecue ones didn't stick at all, but I will say there's only like that one little blip out of all the, as I say that again and I pull it off and it's hard to pull off. Oh my gosh, you guys, these dogs just worked themselves up over all that barking and now they have to go stand in their water bottle, or water. We even have a pool for them, and that they choose to stand in their own water. They're so crazy. Goodness. Can't take you anywhere, Sam. It's just that guy. Anyhow, I'm pulling the tofu off. Since it's so hot here, I actually just turned the grill off when I left it this time. Just because it's 100 degrees out and it's going to stay obviously super hot. And unlike meat products, obviously tofu you can eat. You don't really have to cook it, but okay. So here is the tofu all cooked up and looking delicious.